This week on Real Talk, we take a deep dive into childcare in Colorado.
The wait list to get a kid below 3 years old into a daycare, they're 2 years long.
Childcare centers are dwindling in Colorado, and the options are now getting even more scarce.
I just think that there's a childcare crisis in this city, and I really think that it needs to be addressed.
This week, a real talk about childcare in Colorado, from the options available for families to the early childhood educators struggling just to get by.
I think in general, there's a broad need for recognition of early learning services as essential for working parents.
Welcome to Real Talk with Denver7 and CPR News. I'm Colorado Public Radio's Nathan Heffel.
And I'm Denver7's Micah Smith. Each week, in a partnership between Denver7 and CPR, we will have a real talk about issues impacting underrepresented people across Colorado.
And this week, we're talking childcare in Colorado. For many families in our state, childcare is a necessity to continue putting food on the table and to keep working.
But not only is childcare pricey, it can also be a lengthy process to get your child enrolled. I talked with parents at a Denver preschool who will soon have to go through that enrollment process again. This group of parents won a lottery of sorts, getting their kids a spot in a downtown Denver preschool called the Wonder Academy.
The wait list to get a kid below 3 years old into a daycare, they're 2 years long.
We were super excited to have something that was local, a place where our kids were happy to be.
Last month, they learned a developer bought the Wonder Academy's building, and their preschool is closing on July 28th.
I have a wife, and we wanted to make sure that we felt included, and we wanted a community that was inclusive of the LGBTQ community. And when we had gone to other schools, we didn't quite feel comfortable, but coming to Wonder Academy, it was no problem. We were widely accepted.
My granddaughter Winnie attends the Wonder Academy here. My daughter is a single parent. She relies on public assistance to send my granddaughter here through CCAP. And most daycare centers don't provide positions for children who need assistance.
In a statement to Denver7, the owner and founder of the Wonder Academy, Chelsea Moran, said, in part, there's been a shortage of spaces, especially in the infant and toddler age range, for well over a decade, and yet it's simply left to families to figure out a way to find care that aligns with their values and budget. It is heartbreaking.
I just think that there's a childcare crisis in this city, and I really think that it needs to be addressed.
It seems really short-sighted to focus too much on the building housing for people who are ostensibly some proportion of them have kids and need childcare.
I'm not a city planner or a politician by any means, but I do think there needs to be some sort of protections for locations that are set up as educational facilities. You know, obviously public schools, but where are you going to put your kids between the time when they're 3 months old if you're a working parent?
I just want to highlight how good the school is. I mean, they put a lot of work into developing their staff.
And these parents say finding that again.
We're now on 15 wait lists across the city.
I think we're on about 15 different wait lists right now.
Will be a big challenge. Nathan, speaking with these families, I could feel the parents' anguish.
Yeah.
They love this school. They want to keep their kids in this school. A developer comes in, and now they have to start from scratch.
Yeah, 15 wait lists, 15 over and over, saying, is there a spot for my kid? And you just have to wait and see.
You just have to wait. It's
Yeah.
a tough situation.
Mm-hmm. Well, finding childcare can be hard to find across our state, as you just heard. An analysis by the Center for American Progress has a new way to visualize childcare scarcity in Colorado.
Let's look at Metro Denver. For those with us here on Denver7, the areas shaded in orange represent childcare deserts.
And for those with us on CPR, those areas include eastern parts of Aurora, areas around Thornton and Westminster, along with many areas of Lakewood.
There is a similar situation happening in Colorado Springs as well. Much of the areas around the Colorado Springs Airport and south of that into Winefield and Fountain are also seeing a lack of childcare services. So let's have a real talk about how families are dealing with the state of childcare in Colorado. We have Julie Giel and Jenna Matthews with us today, who are both parents of children at the Wonder Academy in Denver. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Tell us about why you chose the Wonder Academy and how it's been for your kids.
Our kids started at the Wonder Academy at the same time. So one of the things that we love about the community is that they're thriving and they're best friends and they have stability. My wife and I, when we found the Wonder Academy's website, we immediately knew that's where we had to send our child.
Yeah, similarly for for my husband and I as well, we were lucky to kind of stumble upon the Wonder Academy when we were, I think we started looking when I was about like 5 months pregnant. And had heard that that was what we needed to do. And in fact, some of the wait lists we're on now had like a trying option. So like if you aren't even pregnant, but you're trying to get pregnant, you can get on a daycare wait list. And so we had kind of heard some of those things. And this was back in, January of 2021. So this isn't like a new issue, but we had found Wonder Academy kind of in that process and spoke with Chelsea over Zoom because it was definitely pandemic times. And what really stood out to me is their background in attachment and how they really lean on attachment work and neuroscience. And that's my background as well as a social worker. And so that really resonated with me. And they really value and highlight the socio-emotional learning for kids, which is so important for younger kids especially. So it really clicked for us, and we felt so lucky to get a spot.
And that's the key word, lucky for it. Yes. I keep hearing you both talk about how much you love the school that you're in, but it's almost like, well, you may be or you may not be in this place. What is that process like for you to say, I'm just going to say, all right, we're going to wing it, and if we get in, great, but there are 15 other schools we have to look at? I mean, that's the big question.
It doesn't feel like winging it. It just feels like luck. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And to be honest, like some of it, to me, having gone through losing our school is, I'm just like tired of talking about wait lists, and I'm tired of talking about this as a crisis. As Jenna said, it's been like this for a long time, and I continue to see stories that are the same. We don't have enough teachers, we don't have enough schools, and what are we doing about it? If early childhood education is so important, and the work that the Wonder Academy is doing, grounded in science is so important for like the people who will take over our city, why aren't we investing in those areas?
That's a great question. I know this is a tough question that I'm about to ask you, but I know a lot of parents are wondering, come July, what are you planning to do? What does that look like for you now? And we can start with you, Jenna.
Yeah, so we ended up finding a spot at a place in Lakewood, and it'll be about a 30-minute round trip each way for us, if not longer, with morning traffic. Whereas right now we're about a 5-minute drive from the Wonder Academy. And I think that location is so tough. I mean, we're hardly driving. There's so many Wonder Academy parents that bike or walk. And so there's really like nothing available in the same vicinity. And so it'll be a pretty major lifestyle shift for us. And who knows kind of what the long term will end up looking like. But and again, like coming back to lucky, we feel really, really lucky to even have found anything, even though it's significantly further away from our house.
Yeah. What about you? What are your plans?
We don't have a solid plan at this juncture. We are kind of at a loss, and we're really grieving the loss of our community. These are some great teachers. It's a great school with great parents, and it's hard to want to pay to get on a wait list that we're not going to get in 3 months.
What about your children? What are you telling them, and how are they taking this?
Honestly, I feel kind of lucky. I think our kids are a little too young that we haven't had to really deal with that yet. I know my kiddo will be 2 next month, and Julie's kiddo is a little bit younger, a couple months younger. So, we'll figure out when it gets a little closer, kind of how to do that transition with them. And I'm sure it'll be harder in the moment, but to this point,
because those routines that you just get so used to are just done. They're gone, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And literally, even yesterday when I was picking up my kiddo, Julie's kiddo was there, and he ran over and gave her a big hug before he left. And so they're just like, they have these connections with each other. And it's that way with the whole class. They've really and across the school as well.
And just to reiterate for our viewers and listeners, the Wonder Academy is in downtown Denver. that in and of itself is very hard to find, a childcare facility in downtown Denver that's meeting all of your family's needs. I know there are a lot of folks listening and watching finding themselves in the same situation. What would you like to see at the city and state level to address the issue when it comes to lack of childcare?
Funding and support. You know, if we were able to find another location for a school in the area, it would be at a market rate. If you're charging market rate, then you're going to have to increase tuition. We're already paying a lot. And then if you want to pay your teachers well, that adds to tuition too. You know, we're losing great teachers. Our school is incredible. And a lot of them have said, we can't go anywhere else. Like, we need support for educators' careers, and we need funding and space for these centers to exist.
Agreed, and I think we talk a lot about affordable childcare, and I think what we really need is subsidized childcare, because like as Julie was saying, there's no way, and our teachers are coming to say, like, I can't make this much money anywhere else where I'm seeing job listings, and that is going to result in them leaving the field, and that's the exact opposite of what we need right now.
Another tough issue. I do want to say a lot of parents at the Wonder Academy are looking for childcare options. So if you have any leads at all, please reach out to me or Nathan. We'll be happy to pass those along. We know this is a tough situation, and we hope that you find a resolution very soon. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
We're just getting started with this real talk about childcare in Colorado.
And next, our conversation shifts to early childhood teachers.
We take a look at salary ranges for teachers and how that is leading to a shortage in the workforce. We hear from a former teacher about her experience. This is Real Talk with Denver7 and CPR News. Welcome back to Real Talk with Denver7 and CPR News. I'm Denver7's Micah Smith. Today we're having a real talk on childcare in Colorado.
And I'm Colorado Public Radio's Nathan Heffel. We've explored how difficult it can be for families to find a childcare provider, but on top of that, some providers can't pay their early childhood teachers a sufficient salary.
Based on data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, there were more than 8,000 childcare workers in Colorado in May of 2021. The average hourly salary for those workers was $16 per hour. That's an annual salary of just over $33,000 per year.
And get this, Colorado is actually among one of the highest paying states for childcare workers. The same data for the entire country shows the average salary was $12.40, or a little more than $25,000 per year. So we want to welcome Jamita Horton to this Real Talk on childcare. Jamita, thanks so much for joining us.
It's good to be here. Mm-hmm.
So you were a former kindergarten teacher, in Colorado. Talk to us about some of the struggles you had as a teacher in regards to your salary.
Yeah, so first it's important to note that I actually am licensed from birth until 8 years old. And then when it came to making a decision on whether I would do kindergarten or if I would do preschool, I had to weigh what am I most passionate about, right? I absolutely love children. I love the youngest learners. I love the babies. I love being in the room, watching them play, watching them learn from each other. And I also had to be realistic about salary. And so if it comes to making a minimum wage job as a preschool teacher working with 4-year-olds, I unfortunately had to make that choice for myself and for my well-being and sustainability to choose to teach kindergarten, which is wild because it's just 1 year difference. But that salary was way better than what I would have made if I were a preschool teacher.
So Jamita, in your case, salary did kind of impact your dreams as a teacher, where your passion was lying at the time.
Yeah, I had to completely pivot once I got to that realization of I could either make a non-livable wage or I could make a living wage, really.
And that must have been so tough, saying, I want to work with preschoolers, but I just can't.
Yeah.
So you work with PEBC, which is the Public Education and Business Coalition. Talk to us about your work there.
Yeah, so Public Education and Business Coalition is really a nonprofit that looks at the educator workforce from recruitment to sustaining them and then also retaining them in the profession. And we do that in 3 ways. So we have our residency program, and that is really teacher preparation to get people to get their foot into the door into school so that they have mentors and that they fall in love with being a teacher. And then we have our professional learning, which really works to sustain and retain teachers and really meet them where they are, not just teachers, but leaders as well. Like, what do you need? How can we help you? How can we support you in your development? And then I work on the policy team. And I really work with legislators and stakeholders to think about sustainable, equitable solutions for schools as a whole.
And you can provide them with a lot of firsthand knowledge with your personal struggles. We know you're focused again on the retention of teachers. What are you hearing from teachers that are saying, I'm about ready to give up, Jamita? I'm about ready to go?
It's really hard because I want them to feel valued, right? So one of the biggest things is that early childhood professionals are viewed as just babysitters, and there's so much more than that. The amount of work that it takes to even go into early childhood, you have to know the academic content, right? And then you also have to know social emotional learning, you have to know brain development, child development, and then you have to continue to maintain that license. And so that's one of the big things where I constantly remind my friends who are still in the workforce, like, you are so necessary. The kids love you. I value you. The work that you're doing matters. And if I can give them opportunities to lend their voice to the policy work that I do, I am more often than not throwing opportunities their way, because politicians and policymakers need to know what's actually going on the ground.
What are you saying to those stakeholders, those politicians? You're screaming from the rooftops, we need funding, and it seems to not really be happening.
It's interesting because I would say a lot of the stakeholder groups that I work with really, really want to do what's right by kids and what's right by teachers. And there are systemic things that are in the way that are creating barriers to that. I mean, pay, compensation. So like, one of the questions that I constantly ask is, how can you increase compensation for every single childcare worker, not just the educators, but also the assistant teachers, the paraprofessionals? How can we do that in a way that does not put more burden on families? Because families are already paying astronomical rates just to have their kids in early childhood.
So not passing that cost on to the families and their children.
Right, so how can we rethink this system so that it's sustainable and equitable for everyone?
Jamita, what are some ways people can get connected with PEBC and some of the work that you're doing?
Yeah, so next week actually PEBC has our workforce forum, and we're really thinking about different solutions with the community and business partners to think about how can we maintain this workforce, how can we uplift this workforce and come up with solutions. We also just put out a policy brief with recommendations for policymakers. It was called the Early Childhood Workforce Coalition. So if you go on our website, you'll be able to find those recommendations. And one final thing that is important to note, the Early Childhood Leadership Commission, they're actually redoing their workforce plan right now. And so they're really soliciting input from people who are providers, who are practitioners, who are families, to figure out how can we not only sustain the workforce that we have, how can we recruit people, and how can we make sure it's diverse and reflecting the families that are in our state.
Jamita Horton with PEBC, thank you so much for being very honest, real about all the things that you face in your personal life and all the work that you're doing with PEBC.
Oh, thank you very much.
Right.
So if you're sending your kid to childcare and you're like, this just isn't the card to keep doing that, you may be thinking about how you can take care of those duties on your own.
After the break, we look at the rise of at-home childcare services in our state and whether that would be a good option for your family. This is Real Talk with Denver7 and CPR News.
This is Real Talk with Denver7 and CPR News. Today we're having a real talk about childcare in Colorado.
Earlier in the show, we looked at childcare deserts across the state. That scarcity of childcare providers has caused some families to take matters into their own hands.
Yeah, at-home childcare services like My Village are increasing in our state. In fact, Colorado Public Radio looked at data from the Colorado Children's Campaign and found 57% of the state's children are enrolled in home-based childcare services. And we want to welcome Dora Esparza from Denver's Early Childhood Council to this Real Talk now. Thanks for joining us, Dora.
Thanks for having me.
What are you seeing on your end about the rise of at-home childcare services? People in the home saying, I'm going to bring some kids in.
So there's actually been kind of an increase looking at that because there are people that have had children during COVID, and they're finding that either they go find a job outside of the home and work to pay for childcare, or they can try to become a family licensed childcare home and watch other people's children in their care. So that kind of helps them have care for their own children, and they're able to subsidize their income a little bit as well.
It's a win-win situation. What are some of the benefits of this type of model? We've talked about a lot of different models, but what are you seeing with this specific model of childcare?
So family childcare kind of gives a more intimate feeling than centers sometimes. You know, if you need later care, you need care until 9 o'clock at night. If you work overnight shifts, if you're a nurse, a doctor, you know, an essential worker, somebody that's stocking grocery stores at night, there are care needs that are outside of our general, 8 to 5 that we think of when we think of childcare. So family childcare homes can really help with that a lot. And also the consistency of care of having the same childcare provider from, an infant all the way through preschool. You're not changing classrooms. So it's a different model. I can't say the one's better than the other, but there are definitely some benefits to that, and a lot of parents might be a little more interested in that.
Yeah, my kiddo went to an in-home provider, and it was just up the neighborhood, right? So when we went to the playground, oh, there's Mrs. So-and-so, right?
Yes.
And that was really cool to have that right in the neighborhood. But also, like you said, when we had to go, let's say, on a date night or something, there is that in-home provider that can say, yeah, I'll watch your daughter.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's actually really handy. It's a really good way for women to be able to kind of subsidize their income. And I think, when we're talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, childcare really is an equity issue. Like there is something really to be said for, when COVID happened, a lot of the women ended up staying home when childcare closed. Like this is a fundamental woman issue. It's a workforce issue. And I don't know if people understand how childcare ties into the economy and the workforce. So if you have women that do need to stay home because they can't work just to pay for childcare, this is a way that they can kind of be financially empowered to be able to make their own, money while they're able to watch other people's children in their own.
Dora, speaking of expensive, childcare is expensive,
Yes.
and that's definitely an equity issue. But talk to me about how a lot of parents aren't even bearing the full burden of the cost of what it takes to take care of a child.
Yes, so the overhead for childcare is just astronomical, really. It's basically, the cost of care. I talked to a provider last week, and their cost for an infant for a month was $3,700. The cost of providing that care for that one infant. And you can't charge a parent that because parents can't afford that. So you're basically providing a service, we'll say for $1, that parents are only really able to afford to pay like 75 cents on. And that's not a business model that's successful, obviously, if we were selling suits or glasses or anything else. So for childcare providers, they spend a lot of time trying to subsidize that additional cost, between the 75 cents basically on that $1 parents can afford to pay and the $1 of the cost. And that's not even talking about profit. Most business, you want to make a profit over the cost of what the care is. Childcare providers, we don't even ever talk about profit in ECE, just because parents are so outraged about what the costs are already.
So real quickly, is the pandemic still having an impact on in-home care?
Yes. So in-home care, not as much because they're a lot more able to isolate during the pandemic, but for childcare centers, when the staffing kind of fell through, they had to close a lot of childcare classrooms. And so they haven't had the staff to come in to be able to reopen those classrooms, and that has been a very fundamental challenge.
Dora Esparza, thank you so much for joining us today for this Real Talk. And that's this week's episode of Real Talk with Denver7 and CPR News. Every week, we'll be having a real talk on issues that impact Coloradans who are often overlooked.
You can find all of our shows at denver7.com/realtalk or at cpr.org/realtalk. Have a great day.